There are moments in life when change does not arrive with noise or urgency, but with quiet alignment. This is one of those moments. Some connections are formed long before we are aware of them. Not all relationships are built through daily contact or shared memories. Some are formed through purpose, timing, and unseen alignment that works silently in the background of our lives. Today's message is not about money, pressure, or fear. It is about responsibility, trust, and recognition. There is someone who has observed your journey from a distance, not to control it, but to understand it. A person who has watched how you carry yourself, how you handle situations when no one is watching, and how you stay grounded even when life feels uncertain. This individual carries influence, experience, and authority, but more importantly, they carry discernment. They believe that true strength is not loud. It is steady. And they believe that stewardship should be given to those who do not seek it for ego, but can hold it with wisdom. Sometimes, responsibility is offered not because we asked for it, but because we are ready for it, even if we don't yet realize that readiness ourselves. This moment is not about gaining something overnight. It is about being entrusted. Life often prepares us quietly. Through patience. Through lessons. Through moments where we choose integrity over ease. And when alignment happens, opportunities appear that reflect who we have become, not who we pretend to be. If this message resonates, it may be because you are entering a phase where clarity replaces confusion, and purpose replaces doubt. Not everything unfolds instantly. But awareness always comes first. Take a calm moment. Reflect. Ask yourself what kind of responsibility you are prepared to carry, not just externally, but internally. There is a side of life that most people never pause long enough to notice. It is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not come with urgency or pressure. Yet, it shapes destinies more powerfully than sudden events ever could. This side of life works through observation, patience, and quiet recognition. Long before any visible opportunity arrives, life watches how a person handles the invisible moments. The choices made in silence, the integrity shown when no reward is promised, and the calm maintained when confusion would be easier. Many people believe that responsibility comes only after success. In truth, responsibility is often offered before success, as a test of character rather than a reward. Some individuals are entrusted with influence, authority, or resources not because they demanded them, but because they demonstrated steadiness without knowing they were being observed. This is a form of trust that does not come lightly, and it is never accidental. There are individuals in this world who understand power differently. To them, power is not something to display, but something to safeguard. They do not look for the loudest voice or the most confident personality. Instead, they look for restraint, awareness, and humility. They notice who listens more than they speak, who reflects before reacting, and who values responsibility over recognition. These qualities are rare, and when they are found, they are not ignored. Sometimes, the most meaningful connections in life are not built through closeness, but through alignment. Two paths may never cross directly, yet still influence one another profoundly. A person may know far more about you than you realize, not through intrusion, but through careful observation. Through how you navigate challenges, how you treat people when nothing is at stake, and how you carry yourself during uncertain phases. These observations quietly answer an important question: can this person be trusted when the weight increases? Trust is not built in moments of gain, it is revealed in moments of restraint. When given the chance to take advantage, some choose wisdom. When given the chance to walk away, some choose responsibility. These decisions do not go unnoticed, even if no one acknowledges them immediately. Life records them. And sometimes, so do people who understand the long view of things. What many fail to understand is that being entrusted does not always feel like a blessing at first. It often feels heavy. Responsibility brings questions before it brings comfort. It demands awareness before it offers reward. This is why such opportunities are not given to those who seek control, but to those who can hold space, mentally, emotionally, and ethically. This message is not about sudden wealth or dramatic change. It is about preparation. It is about the quiet moment when life shifts from testing to trusting. When observation turns into consideration. When alignment begins to replace uncertainty. And when a person is invited, not forced, to step into a role that requires maturity rather than ambition. If this resonates, it may be because you are entering a phase where your decisions matter more than your desires. Where awareness becomes more important than speed. And where your ability to remain grounded will determine how much responsibility you are able to hold without losing yourself in the process. Pause here. Let this sit with you. Not everything needs immediate interpretation. Some things reveal their meaning only after reflection. This is not a moment to rush. It is a moment to recognize that life does not entrust lightly, and when it does, it is because something within you has already proven steady enough to carry what comes next. There comes a point in every meaningful journey where doubt appears, not as an enemy, but as a signal. Doubt does not always mean you are unprepared. Often, it appears precisely because you are standing at the edge of something that matters. If what lies ahead were small or insignificant, it would not require reflection. It would not stir questions. It would not cause hesitation. Doubt is frequently the companion of growth, not its opposite. Many people assume that those who are chosen, trusted, or considered ready feel confident at all times. This is a misunderstanding. True readiness is rarely loud. It is quiet, thoughtful, and often accompanied by an internal conversation that asks difficult questions. Am I capable? Am I ready? What if I fail? These questions do not disqualify a person. In many cases, they are the very reason a person is considered trustworthy. Life does not prepare people by removing uncertainty. It prepares them by teaching them how to remain steady within it. The ability to pause, reflect, and still move forward with integrity is far more valuable than blind confidence. Those who rush without awareness may reach something quickly, but they often lack the grounding to sustain it. Those who move with awareness may take longer, but what they build lasts. There are moments when you may feel as if unseen forces are observing your reactions more closely than your actions. How you respond when things are unclear. How you treat responsibility before it becomes visible. How you manage your thoughts when no one is guiding you. These moments are not random. They are shaping you quietly, teaching you balance rather than control, discernment rather than impulse. You may notice that your perspective has shifted over time. Things that once excited you may no longer feel fulfilling. Situations that once drained you may now feel unnecessary. This is not loss. This is refinement. Growth often involves subtraction before addition. Life removes what no longer aligns so that you have the capacity to carry what does. Some people around you may not understand this phase. They may mistake your calm for distance, your reflection for hesitation, or your silence for uncertainty. But inner clarity does not always look impressive from the outside. It looks like patience. It looks like restraint. It looks like someone who is learning to listen more deeply, both to themselves and to the unfolding of life. Responsibility has a way of arriving subtly. It does not always come with instructions or guarantees. Sometimes it appears as a sense of awareness you cannot ignore. A feeling that you are being asked to think differently, act more carefully, or see beyond immediate outcomes. This is not pressure. This is preparation. And preparation is rarely comfortable, because it stretches you beyond who you were, toward who you are becoming. If you feel a quiet pull toward maturity, toward responsibility, toward clarity, it is not coincidence. It is alignment. Life aligns people with opportunities only after they demonstrate the ability to hold meaning without becoming overwhelmed by it. This is why readiness is measured internally, long before it is recognized externally. This stage is not about answers. It is about awareness. It is about learning to sit with uncertainty without panic, to carry responsibility without ego, and to move forward without the need for validation. These qualities cannot be taught quickly. They are developed through time, reflection, and lived experience. If you are here, listening to this message, it may be because something within you is already shifting. Not dramatically. Not forcefully. But steadily. You are learning to trust your inner steadiness more than external noise. You are learning that clarity often comes after patience, not before. And you are learning that being prepared does not mean being fearless, it means being honest with yourself and still choosing to grow. Pause here. Let these words settle. You do not need to decide anything right now. Awareness is enough for this moment. When the time comes to move forward, you will recognize it not by urgency, but by calm certainty. That is how readiness speaks, quietly, clearly, and without pressure. There is a moment, often unnoticed, when awareness slowly turns into clarity. It does not arrive suddenly, and it does not announce itself loudly. It arrives as a sense of calm understanding, a quiet knowing that settles within you. You may not be able to explain it fully, but you feel it. This is the moment when reflection becomes confidence, not the kind that seeks attention, but the kind that brings peace. By now, you may realize that nothing you have experienced recently was wasted. Every pause, every moment of doubt, every quiet observation had a purpose. Life does not prepare people by overwhelming them. It prepares them by teaching them how to listen, how to observe, and how to respond with wisdom instead of reaction. What once felt confusing now begins to make sense, not because everything is clear, but because you are clearer. This clarity does not remove challenges. Instead, it changes how you face them. You no longer rush to control outcomes. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You begin to trust the process that brought you here. Trust is not blind belief, it is earned through experience. And you have earned it by staying present, by choosing understanding over fear, and by allowing growth to unfold naturally. You may notice a shift in how you see responsibility. It no longer feels heavy or intimidating. It feels purposeful. Responsibility, when carried with awareness, becomes empowerment. It reminds you that you are capable, that you are grounded, and that you are not moving forward by chance. You are moving forward because you are ready to carry what comes next with balance and intention. At this stage, it is important to remember that growth does not always require action. Sometimes, the most powerful movement happens internally. When you choose calm over chaos. When you choose patience over pressure. When you choose understanding over assumptions. These choices shape your future more than any rushed decision ever could. You are not here because of urgency. You are here because of alignment. Alignment does not push. It invites. It does not demand attention, it holds space. And when something is meant for you, it does not need force. It arrives when you are prepared to receive it with clarity and respect. As you reflect on this message, allow yourself to acknowledge how far you have come. Not in dramatic milestones, but in quiet strength. In the way you think more deeply now. In the way you respond more calmly. In the way you recognize what truly matters. These are signs of inner growth, and they matter more than external validation. Before this message ends, take a moment to pause. Breathe. Let everything you've heard settle naturally. You do not need to rush into anything. The awareness you've gained will guide you when the time is right. Trust that clarity will continue to grow, and confidence will follow without effort. If this message resonated with you, if it brought calm, clarity, or even a quiet sense of understanding, take a moment to acknowledge that connection. You are not alone in this journey, and sometimes, shared reflection creates deeper meaning. If you feel comfortable, leave a comment with a single word that reflects how this message made you feel: calm, clear, grounded, or understood. And if you wish to stay connected to messages that encourage awareness, growth, and inner balance, subscribe so you don't miss the next reflection meant to support your journey. Thank you for taking this moment for yourself. Sometimes, that is exactly where change begins.